Hey everyone, one of the most famous Proverbs in the Bible today, Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. I know we all remember it as pride cometh before the fall. It's actually pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. But it makes about the same point. Being prideful and arrogant leads to calamity, comeuppance, as we like to say. But when we hear about having a haughty spirit or being prideful, we usually think of only one kind of pride. And I want to break this down today and give you 5 quick kinds of pride. You might not be guilty of all of them. You might not be guilty of the one you're probably thinking of, but you may be guilty of one or more of these. And it's important to check your heart as we look at this. So number 1 is that boastful pride. This is haughtiness. This is what you think of. This is Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, talking about how great you are, swaggering around, drawing attention to yourself, boasting, getting in fights and in arguments with people, putting everybody else down. That's being boastful or haughty. And I think we all know that this one is wrong. We all know that you should not be lifting yourself up vocally, because you do that and then you fail and you're going to fall and crash on your face. That's that fall that comes after a haughty spirit. But it's also, really, how great are you really? We like to say, well, I like that swag. I like a little overconfidence. I like a little arrogance. Nope, not in God's economy. It doesn't work that way. That's boastful pride. Number 2 is smug pride. This is the kind of pride that most afflicts quiet people, introverted people. People who you never would anticipate that they'd be prideful. You never would think that they struggle with that. In fact, they probably get complicated on being humble all the time. Complimented on being humble all the time. You may have even told how humble you are. But if you sit back in your quietness and you look at the first guy, swaggering and boasting and claiming to be he's great, and you sit there and you just chuckle to yourself. Oh, what an idiot. I would never do something like that. Some people who are smart, or think they are, love to draw this one in. They love to sit there. If everybody else was as smart as me, they would know what's right. That's smug pride. It doesn't matter how quiet you are. If you're sitting there grading yourself against everybody else, even if you're doing it internally or in your journal or with your group of friends, that is smug pride, and it comes before a fall and before destruction. Number 3, I don't have a great name for this one, but let's call it offended or sensitive pride. This is the person who maybe isn't going to go around boasting, but they're very sensitive to slights. Anything somebody says that is against them or they perceive as against them, and they lose their mind. Somebody says something that maybe it's not offensive, but it's just a little insensitive. But this person takes it to the farthest extreme. How dare you do that? How dare you say that? They get passed up for the promotion at work and they flip tables and lose their mind. You say something about the group they belong to, and what do you say by that? What do you mean by that? Or you imply that the thing that they did isn't the greatest thing in the whole world. Well, then forget it. I don't want anything to do with it. And then throw it away. And little kids do that. You say, my picture isn't good, I'm just going to throw it out. You say, why would you do that? It's fine the way it is. Sensitive pride. Are you a sensitive person, making people walk on eggshells around you? That's not a good thing. That's still pride, because you're still caring about how you are perceived by other people. Let's look at the flip side of that one now. We'll call this passive pride. This is the opposite. Still trying to draw attention to yourself, still very concerned with how you are perceived. But instead of going around insisting that everybody treats you the way you want to be treated, you just mope around. You get the sad face on. I'm no good. I'm not great. I'm not good at anything. I'm not attractive. Nobody cares about me. What are you trying to do when you do that? You're trying to get somebody to come and put an arm around you and go, no, we love you. You're wonderful. You're great. No, I'm terrible. And you want somebody to pet your head and tell you you're kind. And that's still pride. You still care about how you're being perceived. You wouldn't do that if people wouldn't give you the reaction you want. And some people even take this to crazy extremes and say things like, I'm just going to kill myself because you don't love me. You know very well that person loves you, or you wouldn't even say this in the first place. Passive pride. Don't engage in it. And number 5, we're going to call this self-centered pride. This is maybe not manifesting itself so much outwardly, but this is the catch-all term. Is the only thing you ever think about yourself? You evaluate the news based on how it relates to you. You evaluate the Bible based on how it relates to you. You evaluate other things people say in relation to you. Someone sharing their problem, you. It all comes back to you. And everything you think about is about you. You're the protagonist of life and everything revolves around you. Now, you might not ever say it out loud like that, but even if you're spending all your time in your Bible devotions trying to learn new things about yourself, if you are always praying and worshiping God, I'm sorry, fix me, make me better. If all you ever think about is yourself, you're still full of pride. And there's still going to be a crash coming, because pride comes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. So whether this is that boastful pride, whether this is that smug pride, that offended or sensitive pride, passive pride, or just being self-centered, don't do it. Walk in humility. Esteem yourself rightly. No higher, no less, and trust the Lord to look out for you. God bless you all.